Welcome, everyone. Today we're counting down our top 10 favorite states in the USA, or as I like to call it, the great experiment in democracy that somehow, against all odds, continues to function. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride through the quirkiest, most interesting, and downright hilarious states in the Union. From the potato-obsessed to the perpetually memed, we're diving headfirst into the heart of America. Let's go. Ah, Ohio, the Buckeye State, the birthplace of aviation. And, of course, the meme state. Seriously, if you've been on the internet for more than 5 minutes, you've probably seen at least 17 jokes about Ohio mysteriously disappearing. But look, I'm not here to make fun of Ohio. Well, not entirely, because beneath those layers of internet infamy lies a state full of rich history, vibrant cities, and surprisingly good chili. It's got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and enough cornfields to make Iowa jealous. Plus, it gave us Drew Carey and LeBron James, which has got to count for something. Just maybe don't ask them about the whole Florida or the North thing. It's a sore subject.
Hey, now, Ohio's got a lot more than memes, all right? We've got pride, history, and yeah, maybe a few jokes at our expense, but hey, we can take it.
Next up, we're heading to the smallest state with the biggest chip on its shoulder, Rhode Island. This New England nugget is so tiny you could drive across it in the time it takes me to explain the Electoral College, which, for the record, is a very long time. Seriously, that thing is needlessly complicated. But what Rhode Island lacks in size, it more than makes up for in charm, history, and an impressive collection of lighthouses. It's also home to the oldest carousel in America, which is either adorable or deeply unsettling, depending on your stance on inanimate objects imbued with a semblance of life.
You know, we may be small, but we pack a punch. And hey, we've got more lighthouses per square mile than anyone else. Beat that.
Let's be honest, folks, when you think of Idaho, you think of potatoes, and well, that's pretty much it. This is the state that practically invented the spud. They love potatoes so much they even have a potato museum. Yes, really. But to reduce Idaho to just its starchy bounty would be a disservice. This state is a hidden gem of natural beauty, boasting stunning mountain ranges, pristine lakes, and enough outdoor adventure to satisfy even the most hardcore adrenaline junkie. Just maybe pack some extra ketchup for your fries while you're there. You know, for tradition.
Oh, you betcha. We take our potatoes seriously here in Idaho, but don't forget we've got some of the most beautiful landscapes you'll ever see. Come for the spuds, stay for the mountains.
Chapter 4. Wyoming, where the buffalo roam and the humans are scarce. Now we're heading to Wyoming, a state so vast and empty you could fire a t-shirt cannon full of self-tanner and still not hit anyone. It's the least populous state in the US, which, depending on your personality, is either a selling point or a terrifying prospect. But for those who crave wide open spaces, breathtaking scenery, and the comforting knowledge that you're at least 3 hours from the nearest Starbucks, Wyoming is a dream come true. Plus, it's home to Yellowstone National Park, which is basically America's backyard, but with more geysers and a slightly higher chance of encountering a bison wearing a cowboy hat. Chapter 5, Alabama's sweet tea, Southern hospitality, and a whole lot of history.
Well, bless your heart, we're in Alabama now, the land of sweet tea, Southern hospitality, and enough historical baggage to fill the Grand Canyon. This state has seen it all, from the civil rights movement to the birth of the space race. And it wears its heritage with a mix of pride and, let's be honest, a little bit of weariness. But beneath the weight of history lies a state full of charm, warmth, and some of the best darn barbecue you'll ever sink your teeth into. Just maybe steer clear of any conversations about college football, unless you're prepared to pledge your undying allegiance to either the Crimson Tide or the Auburn Tigers.
Chapter 6, Alaska, the last frontier and the best deal since the Louisiana Purchase. Okay, folks, bundle up because we're heading north to Alaska. The last frontier, the land of the midnight sun, and the best real estate deal since America bought Manhattan for a handful of beads. Seriously, did you know the United States bought Alaska from Russia for just $7.2 million? That's less than what some celebrities spend on a birthday party. And for that paltry sum, they got a landmass twice the size of Texas, teeming with natural resources, stunning landscapes, and more bears than a Yogi Bear marathon. Just maybe pack a heavy coat and maybe some bear spray. Chapter 7, Maryland crabs, history and that weird flag. Ah, Maryland, the state that's shaped like a rogue game of Tetris. Seriously, look at a map of this state. It's like someone took a bite out of Virginia and then just shrugged and said, good enough. But don't let the geographically challenged borders fool you. Maryland is a state of surprising diversity. You've got mountains, beaches, bustling cities, charming small towns, and enough historical landmarks to make a history buff spontaneously combust. Plus, they have Old Bay seasoning, which is basically a culinary gift to mankind. Just maybe don't get me started on that flag. It's like someone designed it in Microsoft Paint while having a seizure. Chapter 8, Michigan, the Great Lakes state. Ahoy there, landlubbers. We're setting sail for Michigan, the state that's practically an archipelago disguised as a mitten. Seriously, this state has more shoreline than California, which is a fact that surprises approximately 99% of Americans. But Michigan is more than just its impressive collection of freshwater real estate. It's the birthplace of the American auto industry, the home of Motown, and a state with a surprisingly robust craft beer scene. Plus, it's the only place in the world where you can experience the joy of driving through a snowstorm in October. It's an adventure. Chapter 9, Texas. Everything's bigger, louder, and more prone to heat stroke. Well, howdy, partners. We're in Texas now. The Lone Star State, the land of big hair, big dreams, and air conditioning bills that could bankrupt a small nation. Texas is a state that needs no introduction. It's a cultural force of nature, a place where the stakes are as big as your head and the accents are thicker than a bowl of grits. It's got history, culture, barbecue, and enough cowboy hats to outfit the entire population of Switzerland.
Just maybe pack a gallon of sunscreen and a healthy dose of skepticism for any story that starts with this one time down in El Paso.
Chapter 10, Hawaii, aloha, beaches, and the questionable ethics of pineapples on pizza. Aloha, everyone, we've reached our final destination, Hawaii, the aloha state, the land of paradise, and the only state in the U.S. that's technically closer to Asia than it is to North America. Hawaii is the dream. A tropical paradise where the beaches are pristine, the volcanoes are majestic, and the only thing more ubiquitous than the sunshine is the spirit of aloha. It's a melting pot of cultures, a surfer's paradise, and a place where you can literally wear a lei to a business meeting and no one bats an eye. Just maybe don't bring up the whole pineapple on pizza debate. It's a sensitive subject. So there you have it, folks. Our completely subjective, entirely unscientific, and probably slightly offensive ranking of the top 10 favorite states in the USA. Did we miss your favorite? Of course we did. Because let's be honest, trying to choose the best states in a country as diverse and ridiculous as America is like trying to pick your favorite flavor of ice cream. It's an impossible task. But that's the beauty of this country, isn't it? From the potato-obsessed to the perpetually sunburned, every state has something unique and wonderful to offer. So get out there, explore, and see for yourself.